So we're going to spend a couple minutes now talking about Minnesota businesses, the partnership, and what value we bring. And there's no better way, I think, to start that than to talk about the history of Polaris. Some of you may not know, but Edgar and Alan Atteen, two brothers, and their friend David Johnson started Polaris in Roseau, Minnesota in 1954. What those three gentlemen did was create Polaris, which is going to be a $5 billion company this year, over 3,000 employees in Minnesota, but also 6,000 employees if you take into consideration Articat and ASV and the other companies that those three helped spawn. We're proud of our legacy and proud of the fact that over the last 5 years, we've added over 1,000 employees to our Minnesota employment. We've also added to our market share, coming out of the recession very strong, taking over a strong #1 position. And that only happens with great products. We've got to take advantage of the sales opportunity when we have it. But like other companies in the partnership, Polaris not only focuses on driving value for our customers and our shareholders and our employees, we also give back to our communities. I was able to talk to the U.S. Bank leadership team and share the fact that last year, the Polaris team had the highest participation rate in the United Way campaign of every large company in Minnesota, even beating the United Way itself. We're proud of the fact that the governor has partnered with us to create more housing so we can add to our employment in Roseau, and proud of what we do with the school systems where our plants are to help STEM programs to ultimately give us more engineers and employees in our communities. But it's not just Polaris. There is a legacy and a history of great companies, part of the partnership, giving back to the communities. And as Charlie said, we are #1 in a lot of things. And we're #1 because, really, I think it goes back to the people that we have here, the culture of innovation and ingenuity, the hard work that comes from the Scandinavian ancestry. And really, where we are today, CNBC ranks us #1 in business. But whether it's bike trails or #1 state for women or #1 state for children, there's a lot that we can and should be proud of. But as the governor pointed out, there's also a lot that we can do. I'm truly embarrassed to lead the business partnership at a time when the achievement gap is as bad as it's ever been. We're spending hundreds of millions of dollars and not making any progress. I'm going to do what I can to help lead an effort to really get back to where we should be for creating great opportunities for education for all Minnesotans, regardless of ethnicity or skin color. You know, the governor mentioned taxes, and I think we've all got various positions there, but we're not sure that we need to be the second, third, or fourth highest in personal income taxes and corporate income taxes, which is where we stand. So probably an opportunity to work together, not in a partisan manner, but work together for what's right for the citizens of this great state. There's a couple of areas where we're not #1, and I think one of the great coach I had said that you can always tell the truly great players because they're the ones that are really good, but also working the hardest at every practice. So just because we're #1 doesn't mean that we should stop working and trying to correct whether it's the business friendliness or the cost of living or the cost of doing business. We can do better and make this yet an even greater state. You know, one of the things that's fun and rewarding about being part of the business partnership leadership team, it's not about making the state more conservative. It's not about driving lower taxes solely. It is about creating a high quality of life for all Minnesotans, making us globally competitive, making it so that we can have great prospects for growth in the future. It's a pretty simple bipartisan mission statement. And if you think about it, since 1977 when the business partnership was formed, some of you may know that's the last time the Vikings were in the Super Bowl, lost, be back in 2018, maybe we'll win that time. Should be fun. But we've accomplished a lot. Just look at what we've done recently. We've contributed over $12.6 billion in taxes in 2013. Charitable contributions, which you'll hear a lot about tonight. Over $740 million. 2012 is the last year that we had the results. And look at the private sector jobs. 670,000 jobs created since the partnership was formed. And it really is about partnership. We try to partner with anybody that will work for us to make this state better for growth and better for business and better for employees. And just a few examples. Our priorities are clear. We are not trying to boil the ocean. We are not going to try to solve every problem. But as a partnership, all of our members are committed to education, health care, and creating a better quality of life. And it's not just putting words on paper. It's really what we do. Just look around town. Go down to Block E and see what's happened. Dr. Noseworthy and the team are doing with the Mayo Clinic. Hopefully they're winning tonight with the Lynx team. The private capital campaign that went into the Dorothy Day Center. It's exciting what they're doing in St. Paul that are going to help those most in need. And the Healthy Rewards program at Schwann Companies, recognizing that we can do more for all of our employees, creating a healthy way of life. And if you look at our partnership, we think about business all the time, but look how many really strong healthcare advocates we have running and leading our great medical companies here in the state. Kind of fun to have David Murphy from Red Wing Shoes right in the middle of that chart. David, thank you for stepping up and taking that important leadership role. Quality of life, whether it's the stadium, think about the numbers with the stadium. 237 Minnesota companies contributed to building that. Mortensen leading the way, making us all proud. Over 4.3 million hours worked. Our workers, our employees, helping to build that great stadium. Or I had the chance to be down at Orchestra Hall earlier this week. Supposedly the greatest acoustics of any symphony hall. That happened because of our partnership. Our members stepped up to the plate. Richard's leadership helped make that happen. And I talked to Michael Guyette earlier about what they're doing with the Nice Ride program. Expanding it, making it better. We're one of the best things you saw on the charts as it was scrolling through is the best state for millennials. Nice Ride will help us continue to attract young people to this great state. Education, lots of work to do, but there's lots of work that's been done. How about a round of applause for Chris Plazinski and what they did to help the University of Minnesota with their large grant. Or David Murphy and his team with what they've done to help make Hiawatha one of the great charter schools in this state, what they've done to help make that program more successful. And once again, our membership is not just companies. It's the leaders with over 1,000 employees. Dr. Kaler certainly fits that. Dr. Sullivan, Dr. Rosenstone, they are the ones that are educating our teachers coming forward. They're educating our employees. We're glad to have their voice and their passion around education as part of the partnership. And we tried to step up. There is so much to be done. One of the things that we know, if we invest, charter schools are not the answer. They're part of the answer. But they're a faster part of the answer when they're the right charter schools, doing things the right way, helping the kids get educated, the parents involved, the right principals, the right teachers. It works. We know it works. And that's why the partnership stepped up with $7 million of loan guarantees to help build new schools, to help thousands of students in the state get a better education. We're proud of the work that Pat Ryan's done, and we're going to continue to do more.